Alright guys, welcome back to the TryHackMe Advent of Cyber 2025. Today is the last day, the 24th, where we're going to be doing some exploitation with cURL for the Hoperation Eggsploit. So let's see what this room's about. So it says that the evil web bunnies operate a web control panel that holds the wormhole open. Using cURL, we're going to identify endpoints, send the required requests, and shut down the wormhole once and for all. This is an easy difficulty room and should only take about 30 minutes to complete. So let's look at what the story is for day number 24. So the story says, according to the blue team intel, the wormhole is held open by a control panel on the evil bunny's web server. The team must shut down it first to cut off King Mallard's reinforcements. However, the terminal they have is bare. No burp suite, no browser, just a command prompt. But that's fine, right? The team is going to be using the command line and cURL to speak HTTP directly, sending requests, reading responses, and finding endpoints that shut the portal down. So what are our learning objectives for today? Well, we're going to understand what HTTP requests and responses are at a higher level. We're going to use cURL to make basic requests using GET and view raw responses in the terminal. We're going to send post requests with cURL to submit data to endpoints. And we're going to work with cookies and sessions in cURL to maintain login state across requests. Now, we do have two machines for today, being the attack machine and the target machine. And of course, you know, they're going to take 2 minutes to start. If you do not see the attack box in split view mode, at the top of the page, we can click the button that says show split view. All right, so let's start these machines, and I'll be back once they both start. All right, once both of our machines have started, being our attack machine and our target machine, we're just going to answer the question below and say that we've successfully started both machines. All right, so task 2 is going to be about web hacking using cURL. So first, we're going to talk about HTTP requests using cURL. So applications like our browsers communicate with servers using Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP. Now, think of this as a language for asking a server for resources, right? Pages, images, JSON data, right? And then getting answers back. Well, if we want to access a web page, we usually use our browser, which sends an HTTP request to that web server. And if it is a valid request, the server replies with HTTP response that contains the data we need to display the web page. Right? In the absence of a browser, like in our case, we're going to speak directly with the website using cURL. We're still using HTTP to communicate with it, but instead of a browser, we're using a terminal. So cURL is just a command line tool for crafting HTTP requests and viewing raw responses. Now, this is very ideal when you need precision or when the GUI tools are not available. So first, we're going to try out cURL. So we're going to open the terminal. So we're going to curl the target machine. So curl http ://10.67.153.82. All right, so it says, welcome to the curl practice server. Try sending a post request to /post.php. All right, so we're basically using a get HTTP request to get the homepage of the website, right? Now, an HTTP response is received containing the body, which is then printed on the terminal. Because this is a terminal, instead of rendering the whole web page, we basically just see the text representation of the page in HTML. Now, let's talk about sending post requests. Now, suppose you found a login form whose post target is /post.php. Now, it says when you log in through a browser, we send a post request to the server containing the credentials we entered. Right, we can simulate that directly in the terminal. And it says a normal login for submission might look like this: curl-x post-d, defining your username, defining your password, and then the website you're curling. Right? So if you were to actually run this command, you'd get an invalid credentials. Now, this is happening because we don't have the correct credentials, but the -x post tells curl to use the post method. Now, -d basically defines the data we're sending in the body of the request, being, in this example, username and password. This data will be sent in the URL encoded format, which is the same as what HTML forms use. Now, if the application expected additional fields like the login button or a CSRF token, they can be included too by just doing end submit equal logon. Right. Now we can view exactly what the server returns, including headers and potential redirects, by adding the -i flag. Right, so we added here the -i in the beginning. If the site responds with a set cookie header, this is a good sign and usually means that you have logged in or at least triggered a session. Now let's talk about using cookies and sessions. So once you've logged in, the web applications use cookies to keep basically your session active, right? When you make another request, your browser cookie gets sent automatically, but with curl, you need to handle it yourself. And there's two steps. We got to save the cookies and then reuse the cookies. So we're going to enter this whole command, and this will basically write any cookies we receive from the web server into a file, cookies.txt, using the -c, right? We'll often see a session cookie like php sesh id equal xyz123. All right, so after we save the cookies, we're going to want to reuse the cookies. So we save these cookies to a file. Now we're going to basically read that file and tell the web server, okay, these are our cookies that we have. Reuse these just like a browser would, right? This is exactly how session replaying works, by replaying valid cookies and separate requests. All right, so next we're going to talk about automating login and performing brute force using curl. So now that we can send post requests and manage sessions, it's time to automate things. So let's simulate a brute force attack against a weak password. So we're going to create a password.txt file. So we're just going to nano passwords.txt. And we're just going to copy and paste all of these passwords inside of it, right? So Control C, and we're going to paste that in. Save it and exit. So we just created a passwords file that contains some of the common passwords they might use. It says then we're going to create a simple bash loop called loop.sh to try each password against bruteforce.php, and then copy and paste the following code inside of it. So we're going to nano loop.sh. We're going to copy all of this code into it. Copy. Paste, save it, and exit it. Now, it does say we're going to change permissions so we can actually run it. So chmod +x loop.sh. Then we're going to actually run this bash loop. You can see when we ran it that it found the secret pass as the password found. So it says here's how this actual bash loop works. So the cat passwords.txt with the $sign in front of it reads each password from the file passwords.txt. curl-s sends the login request silently, right? So that there is no progress meter. This response is always stored as a variable. The grep-q basically checks if the response contains a success message being welcome. When found, it prints the working password and exits the loop. This is the exact method that underpins tools like Hydra, Burp Intruder, and wfuzz. By us doing it manually, we can understand what's happening under the hood. A repetitive HTTP post with variable data waiting for a different response. Alright, so bypassing user agent check. So some applications block curl by checking the user agent in the header. For example, the server may reject the request with user-agent, curl, and the version number. Now we can specify a custom user agent by doing the curl-a command and then the actual user agent and then the actual website that we're going to check it. All right, we can actually run this if we wanted to check to see if it works. So let's copy this. So in this example, we're using the internal computer as the custom user agent. Right? We can check to see if it works. This first command here, the curl-i and the actual URL, this uses the default user agent, which you can see forbidden. It did not work. If we did a regular one, if we did the one where we actually specified our custom user agent, this would work. So let's copy and paste that. And you can see we got an OK from that, right? So it tells us that the first should fail, the second should succeed, the UA check is working, and we've bypassed it by spoofing. Now there is a whole bonus mission here. I'm not going to read through it because we're not going to go through the bonus mission, but if you want to do it, you can. Now, I did make a mistake earlier. I hit the start virtual. Now, I did make a mistake earlier. I forgot to hit record when I did this the first time. So, we're first going to make a post request to the /post.php endpoint. So, what we are going to do is on our terminal, we're going to clear the screen. We're going to do the command curl -x. I'm going to do post -d, and we're going to specify the username being equal to admin and the password being equal to admin as well, just like it tells us. And we're going to specify the website being http // and the IP address being the 10.67.170.107. Right, and we're going to do a /post.php. Now, when we do this, it should say login successful, and we should see the flag THM curl post success. So we're going to put that in and then make sure it's correct. Next, we're going to make a request to the cookie PHP endpoint with the username admin and password admin and save the cookie. And we're going to reuse this at the same endpoint. So what we're going to do is we're going to do curl -c. We're going to save this to a file named cookies.txt, right? -d to specify the username being the admin and the password also being equal to admin, right? We're going to specify the website being http ://10.67.170.107 / and we're going to do the cookie.php. All right, so it says login successful, cookie set. Now we're going to do basically the same command, but we're going to do curl -b and the file that we just saved these cookies to. And then the website, http the IP address 10.67.170.107 /cookie.php. When we do this, we should see the second flag here being the session_cookie_master. Next, we're going to perform a brute force attack on the brute force.php endpoint, and it's going to ask us what the password for the admin account is. All right, so we should be able to use the cat command to see the passwords we input into the passwords.txt file. Same thing for the code for the bash script for the loop.sh. All right, now we're just going to run this by doing /loop.sh. And we should come back with the secret pass as the correct password for the admin account. All right, so next we're going to bypass the user agent checks. All right, so we're going to make a request to the agent.php endpoint using the user agent tbfc. So to do this, we're going to do curl -a, and we're going to specify in here tbfc. Then we're going to do the IP address or the website http the 10.67.170.107. But we're going to do a / instead of the UA_check. It's going to be the agent.php. And we can see automatically this is our flag, the user_agent_filter_bypass. So that's what we're going to put here. Since we're not doing the bonus question to get the final mission and get the flag, we're just going to, make sure we submit that. All right, so the final battle commences, right? It says, with the wormhole closed, King Mallard no longer has access to his reinforcements. McSkitty looked at her fellow Wareville town members. The king would only be vulnerable for a moment. The time to strike was now. McSkitty exclaimed, "Charge!" McSkitty and the townspeople of Wareville begin unloading a barrage of snowballs to the King Bunny's battalion. They quickly returned fire with egg projectiles, and the skyline became a blur of both snowballs and eggs. McSkitty used this moment of chaos to sneak into King Mallard's room. Just before McSkitty was able to gain access, a voice stopped her, and it was Sir Carrotbane. He giggled and said, "Not so fast." He slowly approached McSkitty, who certainly felt unprepared. When she thought she was out of luck, Sir Breachblocker III stepped in front of her. He told her to go, and Sir Carapane stuttered, "What are you doing?" And Sir Breachblocker III exclaimed that he's doing what he should have done a long time ago, what was right. And he slammed his shield into the snow and drew his sword. He shouted, "Go to McSkitty." So the end of the road, McSkitty seized the moment and ran into King Mallard's throne room, where she found him throwing a tantrum, right? Yelling, "Where are my reinforcements," right? McSkitty exclaimed that they're not coming and that it's over. Wareville is ours. Now it's time to see how you like being captured, right? And she yelled, "Now." As she shouted, 2 Wareville town members sprang a cage onto the king. It was over, thanks in large to our efforts. McSkitty has been freed, and King Mallard has finally been put to a stop. Wareville is finally safe once again. Wareville was finally safe once again. The king was dethroned and sent to Hopsec prison along with his conspirator, Sir Carapane. Now, what happened to Sir Breachblocker III? Well, he was pardoned for his part in stopping the king's tyrannical plan and later became King Breachblocker, right? So good job and congratulations on finishing the Advent of Cyber and saving the day. It says that from everyone at the TryHackMe, have a very merry Sockmas and a happy new year. And we're going to check that off. Alright guys, good job on completing the last day of the TryHackMe Advent of Cyber 2025. Right, we learned how to exploit with cURL for the Hoperation Eggsploit. Alright, this was an easy difficulty room and didn't take us that long to complete. If you guys did enjoy, feel free to watch my other videos from the previous 24 days and be on the lookout for more videos from me. Alright, so I'll see you guys in the next video, and I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.